The observation deck of the Galactic Defense Academy trembled as the holographic display flickered to life. Jennifer stood among 200 cadets from across 15 species, her human frame notably smaller than most. Beside her, Alex shifted his weight, his jaw set in that stubborn way she'd come to recognize over their 3 years of training together. "Attention, cadets," Instructor Velkoth's voice echoed through the chamber, his crystalline exoskeleton refracting the blue emergency lights. "What you are about to witness is a recording from Sector 7, the entity designated as the Sovereign has breached our outer defenses." The hologram materialized, a being of pure energy encased in adaptive armor that shifted through dimensions. It moved through space like a living nightmare, disintegrating battlecruisers with casual gestures. Jennifer watched as the Cathari fleet, renowned across the galaxy for their military might, unleashed everything they had. Plasma cannons, antimatter torpedoes, graviton beams all passed through the Sovereign as if he were made of shadow and malice. "No weapon can stop him," Velkoth continued, his translator unit barely masking the fear in his voice. "Every conventional and unconventional armament has been tested. Energy-based attacks phase through him. Kinetic weapons are absorbed. Even temporal disruption fields have proven useless. He adapts instantly to any threat." A Draxian cadet raised one of her 6 arms. "Then why show us this, Instructor? If we cannot fight, I show you this so you understand the stakes," Velkoth interrupted. "The Sovereign approaches our system. In 72 hours, he will reach this academy. The Council has ordered evacuation. You will all return to your homeworlds to spend your final days with your families." Dismissed. The chamber erupted in panicked chatter as species of all kinds began filing toward the exits. Jennifer remained still, her mind racing. Alex hadn't moved either. "You're thinking something stupid, aren't you?" Jennifer asked quietly. "Probably," Alex replied, his eyes still fixed on the hologram. "You remember what Professor Hicksner said in Applied Physics last semester?" "Which part? The Corvin about energy cascade theory or the Terran about ballistics?" "The second one. He said humans were the only species in the galaxy that still used chemical propellants in warfare. Everyone else considers it primitive." Jennifer's eyes widened. "Because most species evolved past kinetic weapons millennia ago. They all use energy-based." She stopped, understanding flooding through her. "It hasn't adapted to bullets because no one's tried to shoot it with bullets." "Exactly, that's insane. Alex, isn't that humanity's specialty?" 68 hours later, they stood in the abandoned armory. Jennifer had bypassed the security protocols, a skill she'd learned growing up on Earth's colony stations where locked doors were more suggestions than barriers. The room was a museum of ancient weaponry, relics collected from 1,000 worlds. Alex lifted an M2, Browning .50 caliber machine gun from its display mount, preloaded belt gleaming with armor-piercing rounds. Jennifer grabbed an M82 Barrett anti-materiel rifle, its weight reassuring in her hands. Velkoth said no weapon could stop him, Jennifer murmured, checking the rifle's action. "Velkoth never met a human with a gun," Alex replied. "They hold the weapons to the Academy's highest observation tower, improvising firing positions with whatever materials remained." The evacuation had been completed 12 hours ago. They were alone on a station designed for 10,000 beings. Jennifer's communicator crackled. "All personnel, this is your final warning. The Sovereign will arrive in 60 seconds. If anyone remains, evacuate immediately." Alex looked at Jennifer. "You can still leave, and miss you trying to be a hero alone. Not a chance." Through the tower's transparent aluminum walls, reality began to tear. The Sovereign emerged from a dimensional rift, exactly as terrible as the recordings suggested. Lightning crawled across his form. Stars dimmed in his presence. "Light him up," Alex said. The Browning roared to life, its distinctive report echoing through the empty station. Tracer rounds streaked across the void, primitive, chemical propellant-driven projectiles moving at merely 853 meters per second, pathetically slow by galactic standards. The Sovereign didn't even raise his defenses. Why would he? The first round struck him in what approximated a shoulder. He staggered. The being of pure energy, the entity that had shrugged off antimatter, recoiled from a piece of lead and copper jacket moving at supersonic speeds. His adaptive armor, calibrated for energy attacks and exotic particles, had no protocols for something so archaic, so simple, so human. Jennifer's Barrett spoke, its .50 BMG round punching through where she guessed his center mass would be. The Sovereign convulsed, his form flickering. "He's destabilizing." Jennifer shouted over the weapon's thunder. Alex adjusted his aim, walking the Browning's fire up the target. The Sovereign tried to phase 2 shift dimensions, but each primitive projectile disrupted his cohesion. He was an equation trying to solve for variables that shouldn't exist in modern warfare. The entity that had destroyed fleets began to retreat, pulling back toward his dimensional rift. Alex and Jennifer maintained fire until their ammunition ran dry, until the Sovereign vanished into the void. Fleeing from weapons older than most species' space programs, silence fell across the observation tower. Jennifer's communicator exploded with transmissions as the defense fleet, monitoring from a safe distance, processed what they'd witnessed. Did we just ... double quotes Alex trailed off. Yeah, Jennifer confirmed, setting down the smoking Barrett. We just defended the Academy with guns from Earth's 20th century. Velkoth's going to write a dissertation about this or court-martial us, probably both. As rescue ships began appearing on sensors, Jennifer allowed herself a tired smile. Humanity had joined the galactic community with no natural advantages, no telepathy, no energy manipulation, no exotic biology, just stubbornness, ingenuity, and a refusal to accept that something couldn't be done. Sometimes the oldest solution was the right one, sometimes you just needed bullets.